So, anime. Whether you're a longtime fan or someone who still calls it those Japanese cartoons, sooner or later, the same question pops up. Does anime affect your mind? We dug through the research, and while there isn't a mountain of high-quality studies, there is enough to talk about what we actually know. Anime usually gets criticized for two things: sexual content and violence. But here's the thing. Anime isn't a single genre. It's not something you can randomly put on for a toddler and hope for the best. Just like movies, anime has age ratings, and most of it is made for teens and adults. That's a huge part of why it's so popular both in Japan and in the West. Plenty of adult anime fans have heard the same line at least once. You're 40 and still watching cartoons? And anyone who's been in that situation knows there's no point arguing, because the criticism usually comes from people who've never watched anime at all. Some say it's all pornography. People who actually know the medium say, not even close. Yes, there is a genre called hentai, but that's a separate category, not the face of anime as a whole. Does adult content in anime affect the mental health of grown viewers? Hard to say. There simply aren't enough reliable studies to draw strong conclusions. As for violence, the conversation is similar to the one around video games. Games are often accused of promoting aggression, but research shows that violent imagery on a screen doesn't automatically translate into violent behavior in real life. The same logic applies to anime. What about anime obsession? A few studies surveyed several hundred college students who watched anime regularly. Participants were given statements and asked whether they agreed or disagreed. Here's what researchers found. About 10% said they were extremely passionate about anime. Only 13% said they strongly identify with the main character. Half of male participants and a third of female participants thought anime characters dress stylishly. Online, you'll often see claims that anime creates unrealistic beauty standards. There is some evidence that teens sometimes want to look more like their favorite characters, especially when it comes to the iconic large eyes. A few even consider cosmetic procedures, though these cases are rare. Most stick to makeup techniques inspired by anime aesthetics. But here's an interesting twist. Do Japanese viewers, the biggest consumers of anime, even see these characters as white? A 2009 study by Amy Liu at Northeastern University asked over 1,000 participants to classify 341 anime characters by race. Results showed that white participants tended to see the characters as white. East Asian participants saw far fewer European features and were more likely to say the characters looked Asian. So the idea that anime universally promotes Western beauty standards is far from settled. In the end, Japanese animation isn't nearly as scary as critics make it out to be. Like anything else in pop culture, there are extremes, but the medium itself isn't inherently harmful. And that's baby science for you.